2nd and 9. Quick hitter caught by Golden. Always in space, and he makes him move the ball down to the 42. A catch and run at 20 yards on the play by Golden. 6 in the secondary. 3rd and 10 for Love. Here comes Hendrickson. There goes Love. Downfield. Caught by Golden. What a catch. What a throw. And Jacobs here. Crawling in. Touchdown. Some terrific blocking. Morgan and others opening the door, and then Jacobs doing it himself. And Green Bay is on the board. It's 2nd down 7. And Jacobs, oh, look it, right down the middle. Touchdown for the 2nd time today. Josh Jacobs, a Green Bay rushing touchdown. 14 yards. 1st and 10. Fake to Jacobs. It's off to the tight end. Kraft galloping inside. Touchdown. Packers get the win. They are now 3-1-1.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Now live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Lattis.
It is one of those 5-pound, 10-pound days here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. 10 pounds of stuff, 5 pounds of space, but we will get right into it and talk about those Green Bay Packers beating the Bengals yesterday, 27-18. Woof. Sorry. Sorry. I mean, we don't apologize for wins. I know. A win is a win. I know. Gabe was reminding me that the Packers have the best record in the NFC North.
Second best record in all of the NFC.
Yep. And still, did anyone feel great about yesterday's performance against the Bengals with Joe Flacco joining the team with, like, I don't know, hours? Like, you could measure his tenure with the Bengals in hours or days? No, you can't tell me you felt good about that team, Chew.
If you look at the box score, though, it's
I actually do feel good about the offense. The offense did what it was supposed to do yesterday. Like you said,
except
Chew,
for the turnover.
Yeah, the one turnover was bad.
I still got an issue with Matt LaFleur and his offense, but we'll get into that as the show goes on.
But like if Love, Chewy, let's just say Love throws that ball away and they kick the field goal with the kicker who had to, despite that had to play, despite when he was signed, he was told he was for emergency purposes only, and it's 30-18. I don't know if you feel that much better. You know what I'm saying? Because it was 3rd down. If he throws it away instead of the interception, they kick the field goal. It's 30-18. I don't think you'd feel that much better.
Well, but you said you feel good about the offense.
Yeah.
There's a big but there then, right? But how do you feel about the defense in the second half? 17 points to Joe Flacco. Right? 17? 18?
Concerning is the lack of a pass rush. I mean...
Well, but I mean, you can't
they're
get a
double
pass
teaming
rush.
the hell out of Michael Parsons.
Yeah. But also, you can't get a pass rush when the quarterback gets rid of the ball in a 2nd and a half.
No, I know.
You know,
but I mean, he still threw the ball 45 times. One sack.
He did throw the ball 45 times.
I
29
didn't
or
see
45.
But it was, the game plan was clearly Chase, Higgins, check down. Chase, Higgins, check down. That's all it was.
And sometimes Chase and Higgins were the check down.
Which makes sense for a guy joining the team with, what was it, what did he join on? Saturday, Sunday? What was it?
Yeah, so he joined, his first practice was Wednesday. He got 3 practices. He was with the team for 4 days before they played the game on Sunday. Was traded on Tuesday, got there on Wednesday, practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, walked through Saturday, play a game.
This should have been a curb stomping is my point. Should have been an absolute curb stomping.
It just doesn't look as... It doesn't seem like they're flying around like they did the first 2 games. Doesn't seem like there's the energy there.
They did in the first half. Like the first half, the Bengals, I don't even know if the Bengals crossed midfield in the first half.
Are we nitpicking? The win.
Okay, I guess it depends on what your expectations are, because after the first 2 games of the season, I will admit I was drinking the Kool-Aid, and I was like, oh boy, Super Bowl or bust. Here we go. Look at this team taking that step. Micah Parsons, etc. And now I'm like, oh, if I squint maybe real hard, like that lady where she's like bending over with her big glasses, the meme of the lady bending over and she's like squinting real hard. If I squint real hard, maybe, Chew, I could see a team that will, be in the NFC Championship game and make a run at the Super Bowl. but I don't know.
I just think the best thing is there's really no gaps. I mean, who's going to be number one in the power rankings this week?
Ooh, that's a great question. It'll be the Bills. If the Bills win tonight, it'll be the Bills.
Yeah, but you don't think the Bills aren't that high and mighty over everyone else?
No.
I just think there's 12 teams, 14 teams that are pretty good, could beat anyone on a given day. Detroit loses last night, so we're fine.
How good do the Buccaneers look right now, though?
You know what's a scary thing?
Their defense is still.
I know, but Baker.
Well,
he's playing
the scary thing
level.
is the chatter down here is they're trying to trade for Hendrickson, which would make sense because he's only on a 1-year deal. Mm-hmm. So.
And he got hurt, right? He was out of the game yesterday. It's the whole second half.
Yeah.
There's another detail for you.
Well,
Trey Hendrickson out of the game for the whole second half.
Well, and the offense went touchdown, field goal. There's no issue with what the offense did in the second half. Didn't feel great because the Bengals held the ball for like an entire quarter to start the third quarter.
10 minutes, right? 10-minute drive?
Yeah, 10 plus. Yeah, it was an unbelievably long drive. So the possessions were limited in the second half, but the offense answered. Every time they answered, the Packers answered right back, which is what you want out of that offense. But again, if we're nitpicking, Chewy, it is the defense. We thought this was going to be a defense-first team. And if that's true, you can't give up 18 in the second half.
So I think the answer to the question, did we crown the defense too early, is an emphatic yes. We did. There's still a work in progress. Where's Rashawn Gary? Yeah. Right? The whole idea of Micah Parsons, you knew he was going to get double teamed. And I know they were facing max protection. I heard Micah Parsons talking about that after the game. But the whole point was that it was going to open up these other guys to be able to get to the quarterback. And you mentioned Joe Flacco's getting rid of the ball real quick, so that obviously makes it tough. But it does feel like this defense with Xavier McKinney back there in the safety position, with Micah Parsons up there on the line, it has felt like this should be a better unit. So again, I'm just going to pump the brakes on my Super Bowl or bust for this squad until I see a little more evidence that they're worthy of that distinction, Gabe.
Yeah, and teams have been avoiding Xavier McKinney. And when you're throwing the ball in a second and a half, you don't have to worry about Xavier McKinney. He's too far away from the line of scrimmage. You're not concerned about him. And I was, heading into the season, I thought that the cornerback position would be fine. Like the combination of having the safeties that they have, the combination of, hey, look at what this front seven could potentially do, I thought it would be able to help shore up any sort of inconsistencies that you have in that cornerback room. And the last 2 weeks, or the last 2 games, I should say, the Packers have played. I know they're playing a really good tandem yesterday. I know George Pickens is really fast, and that scared them against the Cowboys. But they've got to be better. Because, just make Joe Flacco for a second think about, do I want to throw this short pass? Hold on to it for a second, and then maybe Micah Parsons, or in the one instance, Lucas Van Ness, are able to get home. So if they're getting rid of the ball that quickly because they're scared of your pass rush, which is a good thing, now it's on you as a cornerback to just be sticky for 2 seconds.
Let me ask you this, Chew. Are the Packers guilty of playing to their competition? Are they guilty of when they play an average team, they play average? When they play a good team, they play good. When they play a great team, they play great. Is that what we're getting ourselves into with this Packers team this season?
Yeah, I kind of thought of that during the game yesterday, but I don't really blame Halfley because the only way you get beat, and it happened a few times, is, like Gabe said, if those 2 receivers get over the top of you. So I'm sure they were playing, if I looked at the film now, they were playing McKinney back, saying nothing over the top, let him dink and dunk. Eventually they're going to make a mistake because Flacco's going to run out of plays.
But they never made that mistake.
No, I know. I think the most disappointing thing is, and I don't think blitzing yesterday would have done a difference because, like you said, he's dumping the ball off after 2 seconds. It's just, you got to get more from the 4. And you know what? It's not even the 4. It's the other 3. Because, look, Parsons is going to get doubled the entire year. I just hope he doesn't get frustrated where, he pulls the dogs off. Because he's what is it, the stir that makes the drink go around?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yep.
You want to be that stir.
So... It's not. It's 3.
Wait.
Where's the other
Did
3?
you say the stir that makes the drink go round? That's what he said, right? All right. Just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense in a Chewy way. Yeah. Like in a very Chewy way, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the Micah Parsons. He's going to get double teamed more if nobody does anything else.
Yes.
Why wouldn't we double team him every single snap now if it's a pass play? Who's going to beat us? Rashawn Gary, where are you? Haven't seen you. You out there?
Is he just not good?
Chewy, I said this yesterday on Green Bay Game Day with Will D. 7 years in, like, he is probably the first player that's been around for this long that I just can't get a feel for. Because he goes on stretches where he looks like he is going to be awesome. Like the year he had 9 sacks, they came in 3 games. He had 3 3-sack games, which is awesome, and then disappears and doesn't have another sack after Thanksgiving.
Is he still top 5 in sacks right now because he has like 4.5?
Yeah, maybe.
And he's been a total non-factor for the past 2 games.
Weeks. Yeah, for 2 weeks. Like it's incredible where he just shows up and you think, all right, here we go.
It's clicking,
and then he just disappears. Just disappear. I think honestly, Chew, he's a B player. He's a B guy.
He's a guy.
800-990-3776 if you want to weigh in on the Packers this morning. Did we crown that defense too early? I think we did. I think let's pump the brakes on this being a Super Bowl caliber defense for the Green Bay Packers. And listen, we got a lot of stuff still to get to on the Green Bay Packers. I got a beef with Matt LaFleur and the way he's running his offense, but we'll get to that as the show goes on because it is a very big day. The Brewers, my friends, are in the NLCS today. Hosting the Dodgers. This is very exciting. Gabe and I are decked out in our Brewers gear today. Very excited about. I was at the game on Saturday night. It was electric. It was fantastic. We are very excited about your Milwaukee Brewers representing this fine city and being in the NLCS. So we've got Buster Olney from ESPN coming up next on the show to answer our questions about the series coming up and talk about how far this Brewers team can actually go. Are they a World Series squad based on what you have seen, based on what Buster has seen? We'll talk to him about that. Go ahead, Gabe.
And we don't apologize for victories here, like Jen said earlier, because it is a Victory Monday. And Victory Monday is brought to us by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, delicious brands, Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian, that's just to name a few. And then just think about all the different brands that exist within Screamin' Sicilian alone. Palermo's, they have your game day covered. Whether it is baseball, whether it is football, find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
And since we're talking about the Brewers as well, I told you it's a 10-pound, 5-pound day here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It is time to rally. Thursday night, an NLCS Game 3 watch party. Where else? Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. It is sponsored by Surfside. Catch every pitch, every swing, every big moment with the hometown call broadcast live inside the Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. You got great food, you got cold drinks, you got the electric energy of Brewers fans coming together as the crew fights for another postseason win. It all happens Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Game 3 watch party live from Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. Buster Olney coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, starting to see a little bit more of a slowdown from 76th Street all the way into the stadium interchange. Westbound's just a little bit slow in the stadium interchange itself. Northbound 43 and southbound both looking really good at this point. Northbound 41, though, is backing up a bit from Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. Southbound really kind of hitting the brakes from the county line all the way down to Good Hope Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, slight chance for showers, mostly cloudy, otherwise a high of 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team, like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven and workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive a free motor for your automated awning with your order. Call 414-Awnings or visit comfortawnings.com.
Brewers fans, it's time to rally. Join us Thursday night for an NLCS Game 3 watch party, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino and sponsored by Surfside. Catch every pitch, every swing, and every big moment with the hometown call, broadcasting live inside the Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. Enjoy great food, cold drinks, and the electric energy of Brewers fans coming together as the crew fights for another postseason win. It all happens Thursday night at 7 o'clock, the Game 3 watch party, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. 620 WTMJ is your home for Brewers baseball.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You called them a white stiff earlier. From one white stiff to another? I'm pretty well versed in the realm of stiffs.
On 94.5 ESPN.
The moment was so big on Saturday night that there was a concert going on at Fiserv Forum. I believe it was Mumford & Sons. And they stopped the concert in the middle of the show to announce that the Brewers had beaten the Cubs 3-1, Game 5, to advance to the NLCS. Now, that is pretty freaking cool. And speaking of cool, we've got Buster Olney from ESPN joining Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right now to talk about your Brew Crew facing those Dodgers. Good morning, Buster. How are you today?
I am great after that introduction. I am definitely not worthy of what you just said.
You're cool, right?
Yeah, no. I've got two kids. They would absolutely tell you I am totally uncool.
Kids are such unreliable sources of information when it comes to their parents' level of coolness. Let's talk about how cool the Brewers are, though. I keep seeing these graphics. People keep reminding the world, and I do think it's worth it. The payroll disparity between the Brewers and the Dodgers is obviously off the charts. And we keep talking about it, obviously. What the Brewers have done this year has surprised a lot of people. I guess nobody inside that clubhouse. What do you see when you look at this Brewers team?
A team that is absolutely feeding off that, right? I mean, to play into that narrative, because when you look on paper, I mean, all you have to do is look at the pitching matchup situation for the series. You know, the Dodgers are rolling out two-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell, who they paid $1 billion. And then when they're done with him, they'll follow him up with Yamamoto, who is the highest-paid pitcher. Got the biggest contract ever. He's rolling out in Game 2, and the Brewers, what are they saying about Game 1? Yeah, we don't know. and here's the thing: is that the Brewers aren't afraid of that, right? And they embrace that, and they play off that, and there's a confidence that they can figure it out. Look, I thought the best description that I heard from anyone this year was an executive of another team who was talking about the Brewers with high admiration. He goes, you know what? They don't play bad games. They might lose, but on a day-in and day-out basis, they're in every game. They compete. They find a way. They have such a unique style, and they just keep coming at you. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who exactly they're facing. In some respects, like they're Rocky from the first Rocky movie, where they're just moving forward and moving forward and moving forward, and you can't get away from them.
Buster, does it account for anything with the fact that the Brewers beat them every game I think they were 6-0, or is it playoff baseball and it really doesn't matter?
So I think generally speaking, it doesn't matter. I was a huge Dodger fan when I was growing up as a kid, and in 1988, my last year of fandom before I started covering the sport, I think the Mets went 10-1 against the Dodgers in the regular season, and then the Dodgers beat the Mets in the playoffs. And that was just one example of many where, especially in baseball where they play so many games, there probably are Dodgers who don't even remember their record against the Brewers. And once you get to the postseason, it's a different feel, especially when you're talking about a team like the Dodgers where, I mean, so many of these guys, 3 future Hall of Famers, at least in their everyday lineup, they played so many meaningful games. Whatever happened in July is not going to matter.
Buster, how impressed were you with Jacob Mizorowski in Game 5 for the Brewers? Because he was somebody that obviously lit the world on fire, gets the All-Star nod, has the injury, comes back, was not very good for the Brewers over the last month of the season, and he provided 7 innings of relief for them in the series, including the 4 that he threw. But it wasn't even just the fastball. It was his off-speed stuff, throwing that slider, throwing that curveball, and pitching more than just rearing back and throwing 103.
Yeah, and that was especially impressive because let's face it, when we've been conditioned through the years, when you see a young pitcher, the question is, will the guy handle the moment? In fact, Priester in his start, I think that's what Murph said afterward. The moment, and I'm paraphrasing, maybe got a little big for him. You don't know which way a young pitcher is going to go in that spot because you're throwing the dollop of adrenaline into the stuff that they have, and you don't know how it's going to impact them. And his game rose. And look, it's been amazing this postseason how often we've seen that, right? Cam Schlittler against the Red Sox, Trey Savage in his last start that he made, and Mizorowski. And to me, Mizorowski is a great equalizer because you can have a $360 million payroll and your lineup can have, the greatest player we've ever seen in Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts, future Hall of Famer, and Freddie Freeman, Hall of Famer. That fastball and his stuff the other night, that is the great equalizer. And it doesn't matter who's in the box.
Buster only hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, talking about the Brewers-Dodgers in the NLCS Game 1 tonight at AmFam Field. Going to be electric. I was out there on Saturday night. I imagine the scene will be just as good, if not better. There's a lot of people who believe that the Brewers sort of vanquished some of their demons by beating the Cubs in the NLDS. They had been one and done over and over and over again, as you know, Buster. What would it mean for baseball for the Milwaukee Brewers to be in the World Series? I saw Jeff Passan talking about how, from a labor standpoint and the conversations about, a salary cap, it might actually play a role in that.
It reflects for sure the disparity between the teams and a lot of the discussions that we're going to have in labor arguments. It's interesting. We get to this time of year and I mean, my freshman year in college was when the Brewers played in the World Series against the Cardinals in 1982. So, for folks who are old like me,
see, that makes you cool. That in and of itself makes you cool, Buster. I don't know why you're trying to fight this narrative this morning.
Right. I think that, our perspective, you look back at it and you think how great that is when you have, a franchise that has its history. And by the way, they're not alone. I mean, the Seattle Mariners have never played in a World Series, and they're trying to get there. And the Toronto Blue Jays, it's been 32 years since they had that opportunity. And from the Dodgers' perspective, even they're trying to become the first team to go back to back since the late '90s Yankees. So I think for writers, it's a dream come true with these 4 teams and the respective narratives. I think for the players, they don't care. I mean, there's so many times I've covered these situations, and you ask a player, boy, the last time you beat this team in the postseason was 1970, and they look at you and blink, and you definitely feel in that moment like you're really uncool, and you're sounding like grandpa running back that history. The players are in the moment in a way that the rest of us are not as baseball fans who've been following the history of the Brewers franchise.
So, Buster, how would you power rank these final 4 teams?
Well, here's the thing. Like when I sat down, they asked us for predictions for ESPN.com, and you try to talk yourself into doing something new and inventive. There's no question that the Goliaths here are the Dodgers with all of the talent they have. But, the Brewers kind of remind me of like what every March when we have the NCAA tournament, there's that one team that does the full court press and nobody else does that. Or, some team that fast break. There's a particular style that really bugs other teams and has an effect on other teams. and that's where they are. Yeah, I think it's on paper, the Dodgers are clearly the best team among the four. I think probably, the Blue Jays, because their starting pitching is in order, you'd have them on paper being number 2. I think the Brewers probably be number 3, and the Mariners are number 4 for me. But the Brewers don't care about that.
Yeah,
that's what's so fun about it. They'll lean into it. Oh, you know what? We're going to start an opener. They'll probably, I'm guessing, they'll throw out a lefty in the first inning tonight to continue this way of approaching Ohtani. And then they'll go to the bullpen after that, and they'll be convinced that they are going to find a way like they have all year at a time when idiots like me are doubting them.
Do they have enough in the bullpen to do what they did against the Cubs? Because they had more off days in the 5-game series than they're going to have in the 7-game series.
Right. And I think that is absolutely a legitimate question. I think with the off days and with the adrenaline of the postseason and the all hands on deck mentality that these teams play with, I do think in this series, I think they'll be okay in this round. I think where you really start to see the cracks is the next round. If you guys remember when the Cubs went on their championship run in 2016, Aroldis Chapman was great. He was great. Andrew Miller for the Guardians, then Indians. He was great. He was pitching every day, and then by the time he got to the middle of the World Series, they were out of gas. And I think the teams that rely so heavily on their bullpens, I think the Mariners are going to be in this category as well as the Brewers. It'll be a challenge to get to the finish line, but that doesn't come up till mile 20, and we're in mile 12 right now.
Buster, what would you do for the pitching? How would you handle it? We got Freddie. You got Quinn. You got some options there, obviously. Brandon Woodruff not available for this series, I don't think, right? That Gabe, that was the latest on Brandon.
He said in the celebration he hasn't even started throwing yet.
Jose Quintana. So, again, like you mentioned earlier, it is a TBD still on MLB.com. And I think the goal is for Freddie to go game 2 maybe. Should they go with the opener again? What would you do?
Yeah, you go with the opener, and this is the strategy that the Phillies really deployed well against Ohtani, and it was an issue for him. He has really struggled because the Phillies threw wave after wave of left-handers against him. And that's the blueprint if you're facing the Dodgers. Start with a left-handed opener. So maybe you go Ashby to start the game. Dave Roberts has said to me that, when teams do that, what he does is then, of course, line up right-handed batters to follow immediately. Mookie Betts and Teoscar Hernandez kills lefties, generally speaking, and Dave refers to it as the Teo tax. Okay, you can start a lefty opener, but then we're coming back. You're going to have to face Teoscar Hernandez in the first inning. Again, the Brewers are not going to be afraid of that, but I'm assuming they're going to start with a left-handed opener and then go, as the managers say, with lanes. Depending on who's coming up in the Dodgers lineup. And, you throw right-handers, you throw left-handers. And if you feel like that you have an opportunity, to grab the game, maybe that's when you start, having the conversation about Mizorowski and what he can give you, especially in the middle games of the series. To me, you don't put Mizorowski in unless you're tied or ahead, because he is such a difference maker, and you can feel good about your chances of having 3 or 4 scoreless innings.
Buster, does Murph win Manager of the Year?
I think he should. I don't know how you don't give it to him, given how they've done this year and again, exceeded expectations. He clearly has an impact on their, not only their style of play, but the great culture. I'm sure you guys love talking to him the way I love talking to him. I had my podcast recently, and all the stories about checking, anyone who, getting everyone to check their ego at the door. They have 100% buy-in. That is a really hard thing to do. I mean, goodness, you got the Philadelphia Eagles right now, defending Super Bowl champions, off to a great start, and it feels like that, between the wide receivers and Jalen Hurts, they can't get everyone on the same page.
Yeah.
The Brewers have everybody on the same page, and that is really hard to do.
When's the last time you saw a story like Andrew Vaughn given up on by the White Sox? Just, here, take him. And now, he was such a big part of the regular season, but then he's got 2 home runs in the DS against the Cubs.
Yeah, nothing pops to mind that where I've seen that in terms of the the trajectory that he's had. I mean, we've all seen guys who, go on the scrap heap, and then a year or two later you hear about them, how they look good coming up through the minor leagues again, or maybe they surprise people in spring training. But to go from being a midseason dump to now being such an important part of the team is a shocker. And as you guys know, Andrew Vaughn is such a good dude, and he's a great pro to the point that his struggles with the White Sox, I felt bad for him because you're like, man, I know he loves to play. I know, he really cares. And so it's been neat to see him revitalized in this way with the Brewers.
Well, that's the thing. The Brewers have good guys across the board, man. Caleb Durbin, Jackson Churio. I love Sal Frelick. I love everything about this guy. Who's your favorite Brewer? I'm putting you on the spot. Pick your favorite child.
What's your favorite color?
Man, and you're right. He's not active now, but I got to know Rhys Hoskins through the years. I just love talking baseball with him. You're right. I actually did a fundraiser when Frelick was in college and got to know him a little bit there. What I love is that Freddie Peralta has to be, for the Brewers, as we move through the postseason, he's got to be their Madison Bumgarner like in 2014, or he's got to be the Oral Hershiser of 1988, where so much is on his shoulders because there's so much uncertainty around him. He's their Tarek Skubal. He's the one sturdy piece that they have and they rely on. And my perception of him is that he does not waver from that. Like, bring it on. Let's go.
I mean, they're chanting Freddie. It was like Freddie.
Yeah.
In Chicago,
Freddie. And he was like, the camera's showing him, and he's looking straight at Contreras, and it was like not. Now, I think it got to him a little bit, but he bounced back very quickly in that environment. That's what you're speaking to.
Buster, I'm glad you brought up Rhys, because if you want to talk about buy-in, here's a guy who, just talking about Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn took his job while Rhys was hurt. And the Brewers didn't use Rhys Hoskins barely at the end of the year when he was finally able to come back healthy. But the way that he's still around this team, a leader on this team, helped William Contreras through a slump earlier this year while he was injured. Like, that to me tells you about the buy-in. A guy who's not even on the active roster who just wants to be around still.
And I think that Murph fosters that absolutely because he makes it such a fun atmosphere, and they enjoy playing with each other. It's interesting. When the Tigers are going through their tough stretch at the end of the year, I was texting with A.J. Hinch, their manager, and I'm like, how are you guys handling this? Are you going to be able to recover once the postseason began? And they did, to the point that they advanced. But A.J.'s answer was very interesting to me. He said, our guys like each other. And, that's a big deal. There are not a lot of teams where you have that situation. You hear about, well, this guy doesn't like this guy, and this person doesn't hang out with that person. I mean, the stories from the Padres 2 years ago, for example, was like, that player, I can't stand that guy, and that. So for the Brewers to have that, it says a lot about the group of players. But I also think that probably if you have a $120 million payroll, that almost has to be part of what you have, if that makes sense. Like, you can't have it any other way. If you have some guy off in the corner who's selfish and isn't getting along with people, you're getting rid of him because you have to have everybody pulling the rope in the same direction.
Buster, I'm looking at ESPN.com right now. I know I said you're cool earlier in the show.
I know where you're going.
But I got you picking the Dodgers here on this list. You are one of, I believe, 10 ESPN experts who picked the Dodgers to win the NLCS. But it doesn't say how many games you think the series is going to go. So how many games did you think it was going to go?
I think it's they asked me for a prediction, and I said 4. I think the Dodgers' talent is overwhelming. But here's the thing, and I was laughing at myself as I turned that in because, as I say, I have a logical brain that hopefully works with logic. And when you look at the matchups and you look how the Dodgers pitching is arranged and you see how those guys all performed, them winning is what makes sense. And them winning decidedly because of that makes sense. And yet, as I said before, I know the Brewers, they don't play bad games. And they compete and they battle. And they have that style that clearly unnerves other teams. So I fully expect that I'll be wrong again about the Brewers.
And we would love nothing more than that, Buster Olney, hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You are the best. We appreciate your insight so much. Enjoy the ALCS, and hopefully we will get to talk to you again when the Brewers are in the World Series.
That would be awesome. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Buster Olney, ESPN. He is the best. And we are so glad that we got a chance to chat with him this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Looking for newer, nicer used vehicle? The Ewald Automotive Group can help increase your purchase power during their used car rate reduction sales event. Shop 600 quality pre-owned vehicles with no money down and no payments until 2026. Interest rates are coming down, so let them try to improve your situation today. It costs nothing other than a few minutes of your time to check them out. So go to ewaldauto.com for locations, inventory, and more. You'll be glad you did. I've trusted Ewald ever since I moved to Milwaukee 12 years ago, and it's easy to see why. Because of events like this, they're always going to take care of you, and it's always easy with Ewald. So just go to ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, we've got some backups coming in from just past 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange. Northbound 41, backing up a bit from Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. Southbound's going to be slow from just south of Main Street all the way down to Good Hope Road. Right about where Main Street meets up with 41, though, we've got a couple of broken down vehicles. They are out of traffic, but just something to keep in mind. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, slight chance for showers, mostly cloudy, otherwise a high of 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 53. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center,
Our family is expanding.
What? You're kidding. We donated the high chair and baby toys a long time ago.
Mike, we're not having a baby. Our PCI family needs to expand.
Oh, whew, you're right. Business keeps growing, and we need more carpenters.
We're looking for experienced full-time carpenters with a variety of skills.
Consider joining our team at Professional Construction Inc.
Learn more and apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems. Installation of new or old hoops and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnatthebog.com.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Lambeau is a
Tuna. It's tuna.
I love tuna. I had some last night.
How do you eat your tuna?
Can we, for once, grow up on this show?
On 94.5 ESPN.
When I need to get somewhere on time and in style, I use AccuTrans Group. They are my trusted ride during football season and our preferred transportation for Green Bay game day here at Good Karma Brands. We rely on them for our partners because they know how to handle everything from corporate travel to conventions to private events and tailgates. They'll learn your preferences, they're always on time, and they make booking simple. A veteran-owned, available 24/7, delivering a first-class experience every single time. Book your ride, safe and reliable, that is, at AccuTransGroup.com. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Well, you wouldn't even know a diamond if you held it in your hand.
Get up on the televisions above me here in the One Call That's All Gruber Law Offices studios saying, are the Packers Super Bowl contenders? That's a great question. Rex Ryan said no, they're not as good as everyone thinks they are. And I got to be honest with you, one of the things that is frustrating me, as good as the offense has been, as good as Jordan Love has been, is what are we waiting for with the Matthew Golden sweepstakes? Let's talk about it here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It's sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy. That's BetterHelp.com. Every time Jordan Love looks for Matthew Golden, guys, he is making a splash play. He is making a big play. He is moving the chains. Chewy, what is the hesitation to just make him the de facto number one wide receiver?
I don't think LaFleur really wants a number one receiver. I think he likes to spread the reps out. Everyone gets their targets. Everyone's happy. And that's how he approaches it. I really don't think he wants a clear-cut
This isn't
number
seventh
one.
grade basketball.
No, I know it's not.
We got to make everybody happy, get everybody their playing time. No, this isn't like the best players should be getting the football. Why does this seem like, okay, if this is the way we feel, then how come Emmanuel Wilson's not getting 10 to 15 carries a game? Well, we got to spread it out. We got to make everybody happy. Right? We got to make sure everybody's happy.
What do you think's going to happen when Watson comes back and then Reed comes back? The reps are going to be all the same. This is how he does it. I think
that's wrong.
And the more I think about it, it's a way to keep, the cap in check. Because with Parsons, and we said, this is just going to get more expensive and expenses as the time goes along. I don't think he wants a receiver having 95 to 100 catches because then you got to pay the guy $30 million. I think he likes it right where it's at. Like I said, spread the reps, sprinkle in Tucker Kraft, and then go from there.
So then you're not going to sign anybody. You're just going to keep
You're going to sign your guys, Gabe.
Well, no, because that just makes
this is
them more
their formula.
expensive. Like then you're just going to okay, next wide receiver down the line, and we just keep on shipping off guys. Like isn't it painfully obvious? I can't be the only one. I know Jen can't be the only one. It's painfully obvious that Matthew Golden's their best wide receiver.
100%. And look, it wasn't that long ago that Davante Adams was the number one wide receiver, and I didn't see Matt LaFleur then. He was still the head coach, if I'm remembering correctly, saying, let's spread things around. Davante Adams is good, but we've also the luxury that we have. The luxury we have is that we have all of these guys. We have all of these potential targets. Yesterday, the numbers, and I had them in front of me a moment ago, and now they've jumped out of my thing.
What do you need?
3 catches, 5 targets, team high 86 receiving yards. He also contributed 16 rushing yards on a pair of carries, and that, of course, I don't want to say it's the difference, but it was just so clear that those two are building a connection. And I believe in rapport, and I believe in chemistry, and I believe that when your quarterback has a go-to guy, that makes your offense better. Yes, you can sprinkle in Dontavian Wicks, Davante Adams, Dontavian Wicks, you know what I'm trying to say. You can sprinkle in a Romeo Doubs, sprinkle in some of these other guys, whether it's the tight ends who have been making big plays. But Matthew Golden is your guy, but I want you guys to hear before you react any further to what Matt LaFleur had to say after the game when asked about, all right, is it time to crown Matthew Golden as wide receiver number one?
I mean, it's just is what it is, guys. Like, I know everybody wants us to force feed guys the ball, but I mean, that's really not how we've done it around here, and I don't plan on changing that. So, that's the beauty of having a lot of guys that we have a lot of confidence in, that where we have confidence that we can put anybody in the situation and try to have plays off of plays. And a lot of it is dictated off the coverages, however teams are playing us. And the quarterback's role is just to make sure the ball's going in the right place based on what the defense presents. And whoever gets those catches, they get them.
But if you have
that's the way he likes it.
But if you have somebody Chewy, that's that talented, if you have somebody that's just the problem with the Packers the last 2 years is they haven't had a wide receiver really emerge, right? It's just, okay, they've got a bunch of these guys and it makes sense to spread it around and have these guys in certain situations. But when you have somebody that is just so readily better than everybody else, like he's touching the ball, he's an electric factory. They almost, if they would have completed that pass at the end of the game, that would have put it away instead of having, to kick the field goal or he lofted it and Golden almost chased it down. Because he has the speed, he has the hands, he has the route running ability. He's the complete package that these other guys aren't. Like, as much as everybody loves Romeo Doubs, he doesn't have the speed to separate. Get the ball to your best playmakers. It just doesn't seem like it's that hard of a concept that everybody else in the NFL does.
But sometimes it just doesn't work out, Gabe. Like LaFleur said, coverage will take catches away from you. I can't tell you how many times, because you guys know about the first 15. There'd be some first 15s where I'm like, oh baby, I got at least 4 catches in this first, and you catch nothing because the coverage dictates where you have to go with the ball. And there's times when I wasn't involved at all. I'm like, this first 15 sucks. I'm not going to have one, and then you wind up catching 4. It's just there's so much luck and there's so much combination that goes along with it. I agree with you. You can run slip screens with him. You can do the jet sweeps. You can do stuff where he's definitely going to get the ball. But when it comes to throwing down the field, coverage will dictate where the ball has to go.
So I guess we're just having I'm talking more or less about the snap counts. Like Dobbs played 9 more snaps. And when you play that many more snaps, chances are I doubt all 9 of those snaps were just run plays.
51 to 42, according to the snap count.
So, Romeo Doubs, by playing 9 more snaps, he's going to get more targets. Like, the more you play, the more targets you get. That's just the way it works. Matthew Golden should be getting the most snaps out of any of these wide receivers because he can play the slot. He can play the outside. What can't he do that Romeo can?
Nothing. Aren't we just kind of meeting Matt LaFleur on his terms here when it's a lot of bull honky? Does Justin Jefferson go out there and they go, wow, they were just covering him? You design plays, you have first reads, you have ways to manufacture touches. Jackson Smith and Jigba had 13 targets. Does Puka Nacua ever go games not getting enough targets? Does Jamar Chase, when they have Joe Burrow there? No.
Well, Jamar Chase still had 10 catches yesterday.
Correct. It's nonsense. They trust Romeo Doubs way more than he's talented as. It's just the targets and the snaps don't match up with the talent level. It's that simple. He's a great red zone target. Look at him on a couple third downs. There's one guy out there who is clearly better than everyone else, and we haven't even mentioned what the hell happened to Tucker Kraft. Why doesn't he have more going towards him? So
they only threw the ball 26 times, though. That's not a lot.
Matt LaFleur could say all he wants about it. He could color it any way he wants. He's not calling an efficient offense that is targeting his best players. It's that easy. And he hasn't for some time now. That's all it is.
Well, I got some reaction rolling in on the YouTube stream. Michael said, how many rings did Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams win? I guess my counter argument to that would be, how many rings have they won doing what Matt LaFleur wants to do, which is spreading the ball around? The answer is the same, Michael. So again, I just don't think that this works. I know that this is the way that they want to run the offense, or at least it appears the way that Matt LaFleur wants to run the offense. But you went out and you drafted Matthew Golden so he could be a difference maker. You drafted him that high because you knew that what you were doing wasn't working. And this idea of easing him in, I just give him the playbook, give him the targets, give him the damn ball.
It is a Victory Monday. It's brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Delicious branch, Palermo's Connie's Urban Pie. Scream it Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. But if you want to talk about championships, look at the teams that have won Super Bowls over the last handful of years. I mean, you'd have to pretty much go back to, from my recollection, the Eagles, not of the last year, but the previous Super Bowl that they won, where they didn't really have a go-to wide receiver or a go-to target offensively. Whether that's a tight end, whether that's a wide receiver, they've got guys they want to force feed the ball to. that they know that they've got touches. Again, with the Eagles last year, you've got A.J. Brown, who is just an absolute fantastic. The Chiefs the year before, 3 guys they trusted. They trusted Pacheco, they trusted Rashee Rice, and they trusted Travis Kelce. And look at the targets. Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce were getting the big-time targets 2 years ago when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Like, teams have go-to wide receivers. This is that's how this works. When you have somebody who's talented, you find ways to get them the football.
I just think, looking at the team stats, 409 total offense is pretty damn good.
But you would admit, like, some things, yes, it's good when you look at the box score, but something feels just a hair off on this offense, does it not?
Well, I just think that's the way he does it, Gabe. He doesn't want a number one. He wants a bunch of guys that are pretty similar in talent, even though, we haven't seen. And he's young.
But we've been doing this.
No, I know.
And it's become very evident. There's a difference in talent between Matthew Golden and everyone else. That, to me, pops off the screen every time he's targeted versus when Romeo Doubs is targeted.
I mean, the catch he had down the sideline yesterday was so...
Well, that was a hell of a throw, though.
It was a great throw. And Dontavian Wicks probably doesn't catch it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. It's different.
Well, it was a great throw, but he also used his body to shield off the defender to make it an easier catch.
Romeo Doubs would have been behind that guy. It would have fallen in the defensive back's hands because he's not going to get any sort. He doesn't get ahead of guys.
I'm just saying his reps get used to his reps going down.
I know. And I
when
think
Watson comes back and when Reed comes back.
And Matt LaFleur is wrong in his unwillingness to change and adapt and target the one guy who they invested all that in is wrong. It's a bad way to run an offense.
I don't recall Holmgren ever going, hey, Chew, we got to get Jeff Thomason some reps here.
Hey, all I want him is to finish with 45 catches on the year, okay? Then I'm really, really, really right. That's all I'm getting at, all right? That's all I'm getting at.
All about
Starts
you.
making a lot more sense.
about
I got to
the
be
big
honest.
guy.
I've been scrolling through the dope sheet this entire segment trying to look up snap counts and just see how Matthew Golden's snap counts have changed from week to week. I haven't found it. I got to keep scrolling. To be honest, to be fair, the dope sheet is 228 pages long, and you can't just search the word snap count and the page pop up, so I'm scrolling.
From the top of my mind, since Jaden Reed's gone down, they have gone up. He's become more balanced with Dobbs, and then Wicks is like the distant third there. That's been the clear development.
You find it, Gabe? Is that what you were saying?
Well, yeah, I'm going to have it here in just a second.
Brag.
So by week, percentage of offensive snaps for Matthew Golden. He played 49.7 in week 1, 58.8 in week 2, 70.8 in week 3, 59% against the Cowboys, 68.9 yesterday.
That's pretty good.
Let's put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. I got people fighting back in the YouTube stream. 800-990-3776. Should Matthew Golden be receiving the most targets of the pass catchers for your Green Bay Packers? Let us know, 800-990-3776. Maybe you like the spreading the ball around. Maybe you like that it's unpredictable. Maybe you are like Matt LaFleur and you're saying, oh, we've got this wealth of weapons. We should be using all of them equally. Just like back in middle school, right, Gabe? Everybody gets to play.
Sorry, you've got to sit right now. Old Jimmy's hasn't gotten enough minutes. He's got to get out there and play.
Got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to. Don't forget, we've got Rob Demofsky coming up in the second hour of the show, and we will continue previewing the Brewers-Dodgers Game 1 NLCS tonight at AmFam Field. Fall in Wisconsin is special. You got cool nights, game days, apple orchards, pumpkin patches, and it is one of the best times of year to sell your home. Fewer homes on the market, buyers are motivated. That gives you the advantage. Instead of waiting for the spring rush, you could be closing on your home before the first snowfall. The We Sell Group knows how to put you in the driver's seat. They've helped countless Wisconsin families move forward, and they are ready to do the same for you. Get your fall home sale started with Rob and Nick today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Breezy Ben Brust, just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel. This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp therapists have helped more than 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. Moments in therapy, like the right question or a safe space to cry or a small win, can really change lives. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take that step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Out here, pets are always by your side, watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Looking to heat up a career in HVAC? Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling in Milwaukee is now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Family owned and operated, Dick & Trough offers competitive wages, a 401k match, health insurance benefits, and a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. This is more than a job. It's a chance to grow with a company that truly values its people. Apply now to become their newest team member at dickandtrough.com. Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling. Come see the difference. Apply at dickandtrough.com.
Hey everybody, this is Stephen Bauer, CEO of the Guest House of Milwaukee. You know, homelessness isn't just a number. It represents our neighbors and our community. At Guest House of Milwaukee, we've spent decades helping people find stability, housing, and hope. On Thursday, November 13th, we invite you to our gala, A Night of Hope and Dignity. It's a night to stand with those working to overcome homelessness and those who support them. Join us. Tickets are available at guesthouseofmilwaukee.org, and together we can change lives.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Look, you take Jesus and the presents out, and it's not even in the top 10.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you take sex out of the anniversary, then that's not that fun either.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. Flavors and drinks for every mood. The Studio is the perfect place to gather. Visit them at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. It's on the second floor. It is the Studio. Now, far be it for me to encourage anyone to watch any station other than WISN 12, which is where my husband Dario Melendez works. But last night on Fox 6, my old stomping ground, you may have seen a familiar face. My son Chase and his girlfriend Haley were featured on Fox 6 last night, gang.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what Chase
Seems
and
like
Haley...
somebody from Channel 12 let this story slip through their fingers.
Drop the ball, really. Drop the ball here. Chase and Haley decided to
Got engaged?
blow off... Will you shut your mouth? Decided to blow off homecoming on Saturday night, guys. To go to the Brewers game. They showed up to the Brewers game wearing their dress and their suit with their corsage and with their bouquet and all of that stuff. They made some posters that said, Brewers are greater than homecoming. We blew off homecoming for the Brewers. And they got tons of high fives and cheers from folks who were there. And I thought, what a moment, what a memory. There'll be plenty of high school dances, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have one in the spring. They have one in the fall. They have prom. But how often can you cheer the Brewers in Game 5 of the NLDS to a victory over the Cubs?
Thank God they won. Because otherwise, you probably wouldn't be saying those things. Right?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, they might have regretted their decision if there was a different outcome. But I just thought that was so cool, right? A bunch of high schoolers, a couple of high schoolers who were like, you know what? This is a big deal. They're big sports fans, and they couldn't have been more thrilled to enjoy a victory at AmFam Field instead of going to the homecoming dance. So, Chew, I thought you might appreciate that. I thought you might appreciate their decision-making at that young age.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a memory for his entire life.
Yeah, they got some confetti, right? The ribbons are coming down after they popped the confetti tubes at AmFam. They caught some confetti. They got a ball. Someone tossed them a ball from the field. It was a red-letter day for Chase and Haley, who decided to skip homecoming and go to the Brewers game. We are going to, not Game 1 tonight. I'll be out of town. But we are going to Game 2. I can't even imagine what that scene's going to be like.
What was the split for Game 5?
Still very overwhelmingly Brewers fans. I mean, the Brewers fans came out in droves. They did not sell their tickets. They wanted to be there for a decisive Game 5. I think they knew that, especially after you saw how the Brewers sort of got rattled a little bit at Wrigley Field with that environment and how loud it was. I think they seized the opportunity to make a difference. And you saw Ryan Braun. I don't know if you got to see this, Chew, but Ryan Braun making the rounds with the media, reminding people that, yes, as a player, fans make a difference. The noise you make, the hostile environment you create for opponents, that can really, alter the outcome of a game. And so I think people were really interested in trying to help out in that way, Gabe.
Yeah, look, I wasn't super worried. I just knew with Game 5, I don't know if people bought that far in advance, right? Like, you knew Games 1 and 2 were happening no matter what, and it felt like there were a couple of tickets that were available for Game 5 after we knew it was happening. I was a little concerned about maybe some Cubs fans scooping them up, but I'm glad that we kept AmFam Field, the home field advantage. Don't have to worry about that now with the rest of the series either. It's not like people from L.A. are going to be flying all the way to Milwaukee for Games 1 and 2 tonight.
Don't you guys get stressed, though, with so many pitchers going in? Because it's like, all right, he's not going to have it.
Playoff baseball isn't for the weak of heart, Chew.
Yeah.
Like, playoff baseball is not.
It's kind of like
that game worked out perfectly with the pitching.
100%.
Was absolutely money in the bank. Took guys out at the right time, put guys in at the right time. But it's stressful.
Yeah. Welcome to the postseason. It's why I think you guys eliminated yada, yada, yada from the Seinfeld scale of concern.
That's gone.
Game 1 is tonight. It's a 7-game series. It can't be yada, yada, yada. This is playoff baseball.
No yada, yada, yada anymore.
Real quick, what'd you guys think of Buster's power rankings? Was that fair?
I think it's fair.
Were you surprised?
No, I think it's fair.
I also like that he's prepared to be wrong.
But also, Chew, he had the Mariners as number 4, which I think was fair. Mariners won last night.
Yeah. I didn't realize the Blue Jays were that good, though.
Oh, the lineup is...
Is it really?
It's such a good lineup.
Okay. This is good stuff, man.
Well, and look, I think everybody recognizes the Brewers are a great wild card. Because again, from a talent standpoint, I know that they keep leaning into the average Joes, although I did see one of the Dodgers players say, "No, we're not buying that BS. We're not.
You're the best team in baseball.
We're not taking the bait." Yeah. Exactly. That's what he said. You have the best record of baseball. We're not buying the underdog average Joe's thing. Sell it to someone else. I kind of like that candor as well. That was pretty good. All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to in the second hour, including Rob Domofsky.
When it comes to your home, the smart play is trusting Gina, Della, and the team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And this month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you can score a whole house of new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like a drive you sustained for years, keeping your home comfortable thanks to incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping the drafts. See why so many people, including myself, have trusted Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule that free consultation today. PellaWI.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94. We've got backups from 84th Street all the way through the stadium interchange. Westbound slowing down from 25th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Couple of accidents to deal with. First of all, on 894 northbound, right past Oklahoma Avenue, we've got the right lane blocked with a crash there. And then we also have one on southbound 41 right about at Burleigh off on the right shoulder. Now, northbound 41's backing up from before Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Burleigh. Southbound's backing up from Main Street all the way to Good Hope Road, and then back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. Southbound 43, watch out for the delays from before Good Hope Road, pretty much all the way down to Bender Road. You're back on the brakes from Hampton down towards Locust. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, slight chance for showers, mostly cloudy, otherwise a high of 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
I'd like you to listen to a little question and answer session with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, why James?
I do feel like that we are partnered, again, as opposed to being sold to.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If I need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
That works for you and the business, right, Preston?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, there's IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems.
I've got information that I can then go to my superiors with and say, hey, here's how we can save a little bit of money.
And
then I kind of look like the hero, too.
Want to be the hero in your office? Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Pomerantz deals. Fly ball left center. Crow Armstrong is on the move. He's running out of room. It's gone! William Contreras gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead on his second home run of the series. The pitch, Shanna, drive out to left. It is back. Happ at the track at the wall. Bye-bye, baseball! Long live Andrew Vaughn! Here's the pitch, and Terang, a fly ball to center. Crow Armstrong's back at the track. It is gone! Bryce Terang! An October moment gives the Brewers insurance here in the seventh. Patrick at the belt. Lifts the leg and deals. Got him looking. Cutter on the outside corner, and Happ is frozen for the final out of the top of the sixth. Uribe deals to Carson Kelly. Swinging a bouncer to short. Ortiz has it. And the Brewers are going to the championship series. They take 3 of 5 from the Chicago Cubs. And the Brewers have a date with the Dodgers.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Big day in the city of Milwaukee as your Brewers are hosting the defending champs, the Dodgers, at AmFam Field tonight. Game 1 of the NLCS. We dreamed about days like this, and now it is here. When we were getting the George Webb's burgers in the summer, and they had the win streak going, it was like, this is cool, this is nice, we'll celebrate it, but we got bigger goals, and the Brewers continue to check those boxes off of their list. I do kind of like the way that Murph is approaching this, winging it sort of thing from a pitching standpoint. I know the matchups are going to dictate what he does, but there's this idea, Gabe, of like, hear me out. It's very philosophical. It's very like psychological. It is like, we're so good as a team, we don't even need to have a distinct plan in place well in advance. It's kind of like we can sort of cobble this thing together, and because our team is so good, this is kind of what I'm saying Murph is sort of putting on his players. We're going to be fine, right? There's no panic in this organization. There's no like, we're preparing days in advance. We're, gnashing our teeth and rubbing our knuckles together. This is idea of like, hey, we'll figure it out. We're going to figure it out. And I kind of feel like that is a Murph mind bleep for the Dodgers as well.
They have a plan. They have a pitching plan.
Well, yes, but I'm saying the fact that they haven't announced it yet, it feels a little like part of the plan.
What they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know what their pitching plan is.
You understand what I'm saying from a psychological standpoint? This idea of we're not panicked, like we'll figure it out.
Sure, but like also the Dodgers, they are not buying it. Like the Dodgers also not buying it. Yes, they already know. Like they know, just like the Cubs weren't going to buy it, right? Counsell knows Murph better than anyone. Yes, the Brewers are going to have a pitching plan. They just haven't let the world know about it.
Is it Ashby?
Again, they haven't let the world know about it.
No, I know, but I'm just...
Gabe, what would you do? We asked Buster Olney this morning. What would you do if you were planning the pitching for tonight's game against the Dodgers?
So the fact that they didn't just come out and name either Priester or Quintana makes me think that they're going to go opener before they go to one of those two guys. So Ashby makes the most sense because you're going to want a lefty in that spot to face Ohtani. Yes, then, as Buster mentioned, you have to pay the Teoscar tax. But if you're able to get through, easier said than done, Ohtani and Betts, then you can be careful with Hernandez before you face Freddie Freeman, who's also another left-handed bat, and hopefully get out of the first inning with no damage done before you turn it over to who's ever going to get the bulk of the innings tonight, whether it's Priester or Quintana. But I'm curious to see what they also do with this roster because with the off days that they had in the NLDS, they had the weird off day between games at home for TV purposes. It was the NL's turn this year. You're able to get away with just 12 pitchers on the roster. But if you want to continue to lean on the bullpen, do you end up dropping, my guess it would be Brandon Lockridge. Would you drop Lockridge off of the hitter side and add yet another pitcher? Logan Henderson's name has been put out there. DL Hall is potentially somebody that could ultimately be a part of this postseason roster. But also, do you want Lockridge for pinch running situations late in games if you think it's going to be tight? If you want to run for William Contreras, you might have to run for Jackson Chourio, whose hamstring is obviously not 100%.
I'm just chuckling a little bit over here because you were so angry about Lockridge being in the lineup last week as opposed to just coming off of the bench.
Yeah.
It does feel appropriate that he would be your odd man out now.
Who else would it be?
Well, no, I mean, again, it's
Lockridge wasn't even on the active roster at the end of the regular season, and he made the playoff roster. For one reason and one reason alone, and then he decided to put him in the starting lineup. God.
What's Woodruff's story?
I can't imagine he's going to go at all in the postseason.
In this series?
In the postseason? He said, so I think it was Kurt Hogg of the Journal-Sentinel who asked him during the celebration on Saturday if he'd be ready to go. He hasn't even started throwing, Chew.
Oh, really?
Hasn't even started throwing as part of a rehab. So, I guess it's a never say never type situation, but I can't imagine he's going to be ready to go. Even if they beat the Dodgers and do something they haven't done since '82. Can't imagine he's going to be ready to go. If he hasn't started throwing yet, that sucks. It stinks, but you got to come up with a different plan for it.
Chew, we thought that the Brewers' rotation was going to be a strength, and I would argue that it has been, at least during the regular season. But to your point about Brandon Woodruff being out, like that obviously affects everything. do they have the depth to be able to make this run? Because can you legitimately cobble together a pitching staff every night, night in and night out for the stretch of a 7-game series against the Dodgers? It felt like winning the first 2 games of the series against the Cubs, and I know in part was because they did cobble together the pitching staff on a nightly basis, but it's a 5-game series. Feels like, 7 games? I don't know that you can do that night in and night out. I don't think you can say, hey, starters, go out and give me 3+ 4 innings. I think some of these guys are going to have to go deeper into games in order for them to actually win this series.
You're going to have to get at least 4 whenever Miz, whenever Quintana, whenever Priester pitch. Like, you got to get 4 innings out of those
And
guys.
do you need to get 5 or 6 out of Freddie?
Yes. Yeah. Freddie's got to be the horse that he's been. Without a doubt.
It feels like Packers receivers. You got a bunch of really good guys.
Yeah, but guess what? There's
outside
one.
Of Freddie. Anyone great?
But Freddie's great. Just like Matthew Gold.
Freddie's great. Freddie's great. What they can't have, you just can't have a Priester game 3 against the Cubs.
Yeah, you get 2/3 out of a guy.
Stress.
That's going to add
too much stress.
A lot to
I mean, 2 innings, fine. 2.
2's
3,
easier
wonderful.
to absorb.
I'm talking from the other guys, not Freddie. Freddie, we need going 5.
Oh yeah, Freddie's got to
good.
be. I think Buster put it perfectly. He's got to be their Madison Bumgarner when Bum was just the guy they rode for. I think it was almost over a decade ago at this point for the San Francisco Giants. But Freddie's got to be as good as he was in Game 1 the rest of the way. That's how good Freddie's got to be. He's got to be the guy that you ride. He's going to go up against Yamamoto tomorrow. And Freddie's got to come out on top of that match.
Well, and let's not forget about Chad Patrick, who has been fantastic for this Brewers team in the postseason and obviously had a very big night Saturday. Yep, that's when it was. Just trying to keep the old days straight here. Saturday night. But I like him in the role he has been in because there's been some talk about maybe, well, you put him in a starter role, whatever the starter is right now for your Milwaukee Brewers. But he's been so dominant doing what he's doing, which is sort of coming out of the bullpen and then being able to shut the opponents down. I don't know if you want to mess with that chemistry, Gabe.
I like him being that multi-inning guy if you need him to be. If you need someone to get 2 innings or like on Saturday, an inning and 2/3 because you got to come out and put out a fire, I'm cool with that because the dude has been throwing strikes.
Do you leave the Miz where he's been?
Yes,
second or third out of the pen.
Yes.
And honestly, the thing that makes me nervous about Miz right now, and as fantastic as he was, the 2 games he got to pitch were at home. And Dodger Stadium not going to be as raucous, I think, as Wrigley was. But whenever Miz pitches, it's going to have to be on the road.
Well, maybe Game 2, if he's not in the right. Oh, you're saying you want him on the road?
No, he's going to pitch on the road because Freddie's going Game 2. That's already been announced.
Yep.
So Miz is going to have to pitch on the road because he's not pitching tonight. He threw too many pitches on Saturday. He's going to have to be games 3, 4, and 5 are all out in Los Angeles. He's going to have to do what he did, but he's going to have to do it on the road. That's the next, I guess, hurdle that he has to clear in terms of his challenge.
It's not as steep as a Game 5 situation. It's not a win or go home situation, too. But do you think we see Trevor McGill again in that opener role? Because he was fantastic. I mean, he was a tone setter for the Brewers on Saturday night.
Well, who starts Game 3?
Game 3 is probably whoever you don't use tonight between Quintana and Priester. Whichever one you don't use tonight is going to be, and maybe he doesn't start. Maybe that guy is, again, the long guy, I guess at this point is what we call him if he doesn't end up starting games.
Yeah. I trust Murph. Murph knows what the hell he's doing. I'm not going to stress. I'm fine.
Keep telling yourself
what time's
that.
the game?
Yeah. Keep telling yourself
We've
that,
told you what time the game is like 6 times in this show.
I know.
Thank God they're playing at 7. That extra hour when they played at 8. Oh.
Couldn't agree more.
Oh.
I feel that way about tomorrow night's game that we're going to as well. Won't get home at 1 a.m.
Let me tell you guys about my friends at Mentality, because if you're feeling like you're running on empty, that's where Mentality Health can step in and help you. Okay, what am I talking about when you say running on empty? Low energy, motivation, fatigue, you're just tired all the time. Weight gain or muscle loss, especially belly fat, you're feeling anxious, moody, or irritable. Those are all signs of low testosterone, and Mentality Health can help you out with that. They focus on free testosterone levels, which many doctors overlook, ensuring that your treatment is tailored to you and your body. They offer FDA-approved testosterone therapy combined with semaglutide to target fat while maintaining muscle. So what does this mean? Well, if you start working with Mentality the way I have, your energy comes back. You can burn off that belly fat. Your muscles strengthen. You start to feel like yourself again, confident, driven, and ready to tackle life. So don't let low testosterone hold you back. Be your best for yourself and for your family. So go to the website, mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio. Find out how to book an appointment and find out how Mentality Health can help you like they've helped me.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Yeah, we've got eastbound on 94 backing up from just past 84th Street all the way through the stadium, the westbound side also. Northbound on 41 backing up from almost Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past Burleigh. Our accident there at Burleigh has been cleared. The southbound side, it's heavy basically from the county line all the way down past Good Hope Road to about Capitol Drive. Other than that, southbound 43, we got some backups from about just before Bender Road all the way down through the Capitol Drive area. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today. Slight chance for showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 67 tonight. Partly cloudy, a low of 53. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Sweetest Day is coming up, and ESPN Milwaukee wants to make sure you're equipped to make the special someone in your life extra happy with the Welke Sweetest Day giveaway. From now through October 16th, head to WelkeSweetestDay.com to register for your chance to win a Sweetest Day prize pack, a bouquet of flowers from Welke's Milwaukee Florist, a $100 St. Kate gift card, and a one-night stay at the St. Kate. All that could be yours to share with the sweetest one in your life. Just go to WelkeSweetestDay.com to register and for full contest details.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
At Alpha Custom Apparel, we create standout corporate apparel and promotional gear that makes a lasting impression. Whether it's polos for your next conference, branded jackets for your sales team, or eye-catching giveaways for a client event, we've got you covered. We offer a concierge-like experience for businesses who want more. More customization, more creativity, more impact. From concept to delivery, we help brands big and small show up looking their best with speed, style, and attention to detail. Create with us today at alphacustomapparel.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. It's October, and this is when the weather really starts to shift. The mornings are crisp, and the evenings are cooler. And right now, with Universal Windows Direct, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years. Receive an extra $500 off your entire home improvement project when you schedule this month. Call 414-410-2000 or visit UniversalWindowsDirect.com to book your free estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Excuse me. Hold on. Getting choked up over it. So, Hold on. Let me moment.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Sweetest Day is coming up. We want to make sure that you're equipped to make that special someone in your life extra happy with the Welky's Sweetest Day giveaway right here on 94.5 ESPN. From now through October 16th, coming up in just a couple of days, head to welkysweetestday.com to register for your chance to win a Sweetest Day prize pack, a bouquet of flowers from Welky's Milwaukee Forest, and a $100 St. Kate gift card could be yours to share. To register to win and for full contest rules, head to welkysweetestday.com.
If there was one bright spot yesterday, and look, there were several. I don't want to overstate that there weren't any bright spots yesterday for the Green Bay Packers. We're going to talk to Rob Domofsky in just a few moments, but I do want to spotlight special teams and the situation they found themselves in from a kicking standpoint, Gabe. That was impressive, what they were able to do.
Yeah, I mean, everybody thought that McManus was going to kick, even after, and it went under the radar, I think, with everybody because everybody was getting geeked for Game 5 for the Brewers. When they signed Havrisik on Saturday afternoon, they signed him, added him to the roster. They had an extra roster, two extra roster spots where they were able to add him. And Rob Domofsky told us yesterday that he was told, hey, this is emergency only, probably not going to have to use you, but in case we need it. And turns out they needed him because McManus wasn't ready to go. He was listed as inactive, and they got good out of Havrisik yesterday. A couple of field goals, kickoffs seemed to be good. Worked out for the Packers. Are they going to lose him, though?
Because they'll have to move him back down to the practice squad.
Oh, I mean, they'll just straight up
anyone's.
Cut him. Well, no, he's not on the practice squad, Chewy. He got signed to the roster.
I know, but when McManus is ready to kick again, you don't think they'll move him back down to the practice squad?
No, they'll just cut him.
Okay.
Because he did
a hell of a job.
It's not like they can send him down to the practice squad anyway. They got to cut him before they can add him to the practice squad.
No,
again.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's going to be around.
How does that work? You get paid by the kick? So. I mean, I know you don't, but like, you get paid by the game? Is it a game salary? Is it I mean, that's an interesting spot to be in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just go out there and play one game. But again, the point is, maybe you earn yourself a roster spot somewhere else. Maybe you show in that game under those circumstances that you are worthy of a job in the NFL. And
he hadn't kicked in an NFL game since 23.
I know. Unbelievable.
Looked good for the Packers. He made one. Josh shared the video. I think it was Schneidman who had put it out there. He made one from 63 during warmups. That would have been good from 75.
It was unbelievable.
Really?
Oh, it hit like halfway up the net. It was unbelievable.
Why are kickers so much different today? I mean, I remember back in the day, like Jackie, his top end was maybe 53, and he was considered one of the better kickers in the league.
I think there's a lot of things that contribute to that. I think just overall, the athletes have gotten bigger, faster, stronger, and I think that includes the kickers and the specialists. But also, guys know about the importance of sleep. Guys know about the importance of diet. Guys know about the importance of supplements, and all of that stuff contributes to everybody being a little bit better now, save a few, unicorns, right, that were out there back in your day, Chew. But I just think everybody across the board is better athletically than they were in your day. You always tell us about what were you guys grabbing after games? McDonald's, rolling through the drive-thru, pounding some brewskis. Yeah, exactly.
Couple brats at tailgates as we were making our way home.
So much more information out there now about how that detracts from your athletic performance.
Yeah.
Now, I know he's struggling with the athletic part, and the kickers part is really where his brain is having a tough time connecting now.
What was Longwell's top end, or Crosby's? It wasn't 60, was it?
I mean, Crosby hit a couple of big ones. I mean, it's just teams are also willing to risk it more, I guess, in today's NFL. Like, you were only going to kick a 60-yarder in case of emergency.
Ryan Longwell's longest field goal was 55 yards with the Vikings against the Bears in 2007. And now guys are kicking 55-yarders in their sleep.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, the Bengals attempted a 67-yarder yesterday, and he made the first one. He just made the first one.
That's crazy.
Luckily, LaFleur called timeout.
Did you guys see him look over to say if he should call timeout there?
Oh, please. Can we not?
Don't we know that? We know that for like a fact after you take a timeout, field goal percentages drop? That's like a thing we've known for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and especially on a 67-yarder. Like, it has to be, you know, if it's a 30-yarder, like, do whatever you want. Like, who cares? The guy's going to make it regardless. But for a 67-yarder, to have to make him kick it perfectly twice, yeah.
Yeah, you generally don't want him to get the kick off at all. But the confusion there was confusing me. If I know that, shouldn't Matt?
Haven't we had this conversation? Do we want to do
Probably
this?
should ask Rich.
We've got Rob Domofsky coming up. We can certainly ask him about the decision-making from the head coach right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Hey, guys, if you're looking to bring more organization and beauty to your home, I cannot recommend Closets by Design enough. I worked with Doug and his team in Mequon. They were able to create a warm, incredible, inviting, organized space for my closet. What really stood out to me during the process was the personal attention. They took the time to understand exactly what I needed, showed me a lot of great options, and made sure that everything fit in my space perfectly. Closets by Design has been a leader in custom storage solutions since 1982, combining quality, beauty, and a true commitment to customer satisfaction. Yes, they're a national brand, but Doug and his team are based in southeastern Wisconsin. They've got a showroom in Mequon. So if you need inspiration, you want to see some ideas, visit them in their showroom in Mequon. If you're ready to get organized, call Closets by Design in Mequon and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94 backing up from about 76th Street through the stadium interchange. Westbound side doesn't look too bad until you get past Highway 100. Then it tightens up crossing over the county line. Southbound 43 heading south of Good Hope Road all the way down to Bender, and then again from just before Hampton down past Burleigh. Southbound 41 also backing up from the county line down to about Good Hope Road, and then just south of Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, slight chance for showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 53. Weather is brought to you by Dickenschrauff Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickenschrauff.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team. Like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, you know. Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond. From garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp therapists have helped more than 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. Moments in therapy, like the right question or a safe space to cry or a small win, can really change lives. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take that step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
His eyeball.
Wait.
Where do I get him?
I just assumed when I said wait, did you just it was just a suggestion?
Yeah, pretty much. Typically.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Lots of stuff to talk about this morning with the Brewers in the NLCS and the Packers getting a win yesterday over the Bengals. And for more on that, we have Rob Domofsky joining the show right meow. Good morning, Rob. How you doing today? Hi, Rob.
Hello.
There you are. Good to chat with you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good. We got a big day, obviously, with the Brewers game tonight. We're very excited about that, but obviously want to recap what happened yesterday. Because I got to tell you, as much as we don't complain about wins, I still think there are things to complain about in the game. And, one thing that we have talked about this morning is, when is Matt LaFleur going to take the reins off of Matthew Golden? You drafted him for a reason. It is very obvious his talent pops off the page, pops off the screen.
No
Why
doubt.
is Matt LaFleur so hesitant to just name him wide receiver one?
Well, because, Jen, they throw to the open guy, right? That's what we've heard for however many years around here. I say that sarcastically. Matthew Golden, I wonder if his patience is running out, because after the game, we asked him that basically, and he's like, yeah, I want to be that guy, but I realize, I just got to take my opportunities when they come. But it almost felt like he was biting the inside of his lip, he's publicly, he's said all the right things, but I got to believe that he feels like, and feels like he's shown that he deserves, a lot more opportunities. It just doesn't seem like they're willing to do that with anyone, whether it's Golden or feed the ball to Tucker Kraft. I mean, I've felt that way, about Kraft in the past, and it's never happened. So you'd like to think that it will, but I can't sit here and tell you that eventually he's going to get 10 targets a game.
Rob, what was your takeaway from the defense?
Yeah, I mean, their coverage guys, I realize you got, two unbelievable receivers, but, I thought they had some coverage issues. Nothing, no blown assignments. We're not seeing like guys run free wide open, but they're not making plays on the ball, Chewy. And I can't figure out why, because this is a defense that, they took the ball away last year like crazy. Xavier McKinney had an interception in 5 straight games to start the year. They only have 2 interceptions all year, and one of them was kind of a freebie from Flacco in the Cleveland game, just basically a punt. So, I know you can't live by the takeaway, but you got to start taking the ball away. It makes things a lot easier. It takes possessions away. It gives your offense the ball in advantageous situations. And, if you're not taking the ball away, it just puts more and more stress on you.
Rob, did Brandon McManus suffer some sort of setback? Because he was convinced he was going to play during the course of the week.
Yeah.
They did sign Lucas Havrisik on Saturday,
Right.
but you told us yesterday on Green Bay Game Day that his people were told, yeah, this is emergency only, just in case he's not able to go, and McManus was inactive.
That's a great question, Gabe. I watched right after the pregame show. I went out to the field and watched Brandon McManus go through an extensive warm-up. I mean, he was kicking, I think, 54, 55-yarders with no trouble. And I think, they huddled up. It It was McManus, Bisaccia, Gutekunst, and a bunch of the medical people huddled up. And I could sort of tell by the way that conversation was going that they weren't going to let McManus go. McManus sounded like he wanted to go, and they held him out. Now, after the game, he said, we all made the decision, but, he didn't kick all week until pregame. And, it wasn't like he went out there, kicked 3 times in pregame, grabbed his quad and said, I can't go. I mean, he must have kicked, I bet he kicked 20, 25 balls before the game. And I think I saw one of them hit the upright. The rest of them looked pretty darn good. But, they said afterwards, it's a long season and they wanted to hold him out. He talked earlier in the week, Gabe, about how this happened to him in Denver. But after the game, he made an interesting point. He said, in Denver, it was later in the year, so we didn't have the long term to think about, and we weren't very good, so I kicked anyway. So, I mean, I think those are two, I guess, factors in why it's early in the year, and they think they have a good team that they don't want to mess up.
Rob Domofsky hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, as he does each and every week during the Packers season. According to snap counts, Jordan Morgan got 49, Sean Ryan 11, but they were rotating at the right guard position. Has Jordan Morgan done enough to lock up that job?
Yeah, it was rotating after one series apiece, and then the rest of the way, it was all Jordan Morgan. I think that one series that Sean Ryan played was those all 11 snaps, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if it's a rotation or they just decided they were going to go, the rest of the way with one guy, and that's the way they're going forward. I got to be honest. I wondered if they were going to possibly give Jordan Morgan a shot at left tackle. Rasheed Walker was on the injury report last week, but it's been pretty clear that Jordan Morgan is one of their best 5, and that he needs to be on the field. I would be surprised going forward if it's much of a rotation or if it's the same type of rotation where it's, a series here, a series there for Sean Ryan. But this is Jordan Morgan's job. And the crazy thing is he has resisted playing guard for so long since he's been here. But that might just be his best avenue to being on the field, close to 100% of the time.
And just a quick follow-up there. Zach Tom also played. We weren't sure if he was going to. Did he look healthy out there to you?
Well, he did, except after the game, he was in a ton of pain. Like, he was having trouble getting undressed. He wouldn't say whether he thought it was a good decision to play. Basically said it's not as bad as it was before, but it ain't good. When we asked him if he should have played, he's like, I'm not answering that. So I don't think they're out of the woods yet with Zach Tom, because he looked like he was in some significant pain after the game.
Rob, do they have to worry about Parsons getting frustrated? Not by being double teamed on every play, but the rest of the D-line really not picking up the slack. I know Van Ness had a sack, but there really wasn't a lot of pressure all game long.
And like the thing, I'm glad you brought Van Ness up. He left the game with a foot injury and is going to have it checked out today. Now, they did say the x-rays last night were fine. But, there's obviously only so many things you can see on an x-ray. I was surprised when I looked down at our ESPN analytics sheet after the game and that they had Parsons with 5 pressures. Didn't seem like that to me, I guess, live. I have to go back and watch it. But I do think as long as Mike is a guy who's getting to the quarterback, I think he's going to be happy. But you're right. Like, Rashawn Gary was leading the league in sacks a couple weeks ago and hasn't had one since. So they do need to find some production there pretty soon.
Talking with Rob Domofsky on a Victory Monday. And Victory Monday brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's Urban Pie, Scrim and Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. Josh Jacobs had his best game of the year, but he was also sick. Was he?
Yeah.
He was discharging on the sideline?
Discharging?
That's a great word for it. I should have used that in my story. I just went with vomit or puke. I think I like this guy. I didn't use my Matt LaFleur thesaurus on that one, I guess. The thing with Jacobs is like, it didn't seem to bother him, and he told us afterwards he's had some of his better games when he's been sick. I looked up and maybe Jen would remember this because, as we all know, I don't watch college football, but the 2018 SEC championship game, he had 2 touchdowns and he was puking all that game as well. He claimed he had a game with the Raiders that he had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he was sick. I could not find a game that he had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also that he was sick. Maybe nobody wrote about it. Maybe nobody knew about it. But I did do an extensive Google search trying to find it and could not. But I don't doubt him, because after the game, he normally talks to us forever. He stands there for 15, 20 minutes. He was about 4.5 minutes, and he was the sweat. He had that sick sweat going on. I'm glad I was way in the back. I wasn't in the. I was reaching my tape recorder in from the back. I'm glad I wasn't up close. But man, like, I just continue to be impressed with this guy from a couple of reasons. I mean, the guy's played every game since he's been here. I mean, I know he's only been here a year and a quarter or whatever, but like, the guy answers the bell every single time. And he's patient. He had a rough start to the year. They had a rough start to the year from a run blocking situation. But this guy is just, he is, I think he's everything you'd want in a running back, or anything you'd want in a teammate, a football player. You know, we asked him if he got a game ball, and he goes, no, the kicker. And he goes, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't know his name. I apologize, but he got the game ball, and that's fine with me. That's just another crazy aspect of this, is you go out there and play with a teammate whose name you don't even know, right? So that's football, I guess.
The kicker, he did a great job.
Well, to be fair, I've struggled with pronouncing his name as well.
Well, I don't even think he could. I don't even think he knew where to begin.
Haversick?
Yes.
Haversick?
I believe.
Haversick.
And Josh Jacobs was Haversick.
All right, we'll score one for the dad jokes this morning. Listen, we're not always right about things. I know. Breaking news here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But were we wrong to crown this defense after the first 2 weeks of the season? Because we were thinking, finally, they have a championship caliber defense, and it feels like they have been underperforming. Should we be pumping the brakes on this defense carrying them to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, ever since Aaron Rodgers said after week 1 of that one season, I think it was that they beat Chicago in the opener, I think it was Mike Pettine's first year as defensive coordinator, I think Rodgers said, hey, we have a defense now, and they really didn't. Ever since then, I've been hesitant to crown anybody at any point before about Thanksgiving. But, I mean, look, I think it goes back to what we talked about right off the top. I mean, I think they get 3 or 4 takeaways, and all of a sudden you're looking at them a little bit differently. It is a little bit surprising or baffling why Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper looked so good the first couple games and really haven't done much since.
Well, how much are they missing Wyatt? Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, you know what? I guess, but I mean, it's hard to imagine one guy would change it that much, but maybe it does, especially up the middle of the field where those guys play. But I'm just using those guys as an example, Jen, of things that we saw early that we haven't seen of late. And I think there's more of that as well.
Rob, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Always good stuff. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, sir.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
He's Rob Domofsky. You can, of course, follow him on social media and on ESPN.com. Read his stuff on the Packers. Got to take a break. Roll on right for this.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center, the only place to go for the ring. Best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. It's what I did. Of course, I was always going to trust Dean, the dancing machine, and the helpful team that they've put together over there. But maybe you don't have an idea. Take a look at the Pinterest page, bring some of those ideas in, and they'll always help you out. Whether you're looking for a naturally mined diamond, lab-grown diamond, Jewelry Center going to have you covered. Take a look. Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Take a look at the online inventory shop, tjc.com. When you head to the Jewelry Center, tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Sweetest Day is coming up, and ESPN Milwaukee wants to make sure you're equipped to make the special someone in your life extra happy with the Welke Sweetest Day giveaway. From now through October 16th, head to WelkeSweetestDay.com to register for your chance to win a Sweetest Day prize pack, a bouquet of flowers from Welke's Milwaukee Florist, a $100 St. Kate gift card, and a one-night stay at the St. Kate. All that could be yours to share with the sweetest one in your life. Just go to WelkeSweetestDay.com to register and for full contest details.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. 1 free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition product.
The post-crib assembly press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Michael, you had some trouble putting the crib together today. What went wrong?
You know, those instructions can be tough, and, well, you saw the outcome.
Were you upset when your wife pulled you and called in the backup?
No, I mean, the baby needs a crib to sleep in, so whatever it takes.
You've got a changing table to put together next. It's got a lot of drawers. What's your comment?
You know what? We're done here.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org. You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we do? Where do we go from here?
We've talked about insulation, we've talked about fantasy camp, and now we've talked about Burning Man. We've hit for the cycle in the first 5 minutes of the show.
On 94.5 ESPN.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Look, we talk about BetterHelp a lot, guys, because it actually works. I've been going to therapy for 15 years. I can't tell you the number of times when I've gotten myself in a jam, where I've had conflict in my life, and I talk to my therapist, and she helps untie those knots. And if you find yourself hitting a brick wall, having trouble navigating some of those situations, therapy could be the answer for you as well. BetterHelp has more than 30,000 therapists. It's the world's largest online therapy platform, served over 5 million people globally, and it works. It has a 4.9 out of 5 average rating on the App Store. World Mental Health Day just passed. But guys, every day is a good day to pay attention to your mental health. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the word timeout. That's pound 250. You can text it or call and say the keyword timeout for 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. start this by saying, as we continue creeping closer to tonight's game 1 of the NLCS against the Dodgers, no matter who lost the series between the Cubs and the Brewers, the fan bases were going to be salty, okay? Somebody was going to be salty. But the Cubs fans were very, very upset when the Brewers posed for a picture on the field and somebody held up the L flag, of course, in reference to the W flag that they hold, the fans hold at Wrigley Field, the Cubs fans hold, they fly at Wrigley Field, fly the W. Somebody held up the L flag. Now, it was the wrong color. I know a lot of people pointing that out. But, Gabe, what would you say to these Cubs fans who are upset that the Brewers, the team, held the L flag after beating their heated rival, the Cubs? Craig Counsell in the other dugout, all of the narrative, all of the storylines. What would you say to Cubs fans?
Cry more. Just cry more.
Crying queen.
You're so mean. You're the crying queen.
Yeah, this is what was going to happen.
Really had that ready to go, huh, Josh?
My favorite part was, it's the wrong color anyways. Yeah, cool. Because we really care about that.
Yeah, you got us.
That's all. Got me good. Oh, it's the wrong color. Shucks. Of course this was what was going to happen. And then the Cubs fans who were complaining about, we're living rent-free in their head. No, man. The fact that this is getting to you, the Brewers are living rent-free in your head.
Yeah, did they start
Did the victor goes
chanting-
the spoils. This is what happens. It was a heated series. It was a quick, again, it was about as long of a 5-game series as you could possibly have over the course of 8 days. And guess what? The Cubs fans were probably going to be dancing in the streets too if you won the series. To the victor go the spoils. This is what happens when you lose to a rival in the postseason. You get trolled a little bit. Guess what? Just got to own it. Just got to wear it. Your team lost.
At least we're more original than they are. They started chanting what? Green Bay sucks?
Yeah.
After one of their games?
Yeah.
That was a good zing. The L was a good zing.
Yeah, playoff. Yeah, so you win your baseball team wins a playoff game, so you start chanting about the football team.
And for whatever it's worth, and I don't know how much this matters at all, I don't think that the Brewers fans were giddy. Brewers players were giddy about doing it either. From what I heard from people who were on the field, they were sort of reluctant to even hoist it up there and really gloat in that way. They sort of passed it around to each other, got a little chuckle out of it, passed it to somebody else, and then it was only Trevor McGill who was like, "Nah, bleep it," and threw it up for the picture. So I don't think
they were
that
also doing. I don't know if you saw Contreras in the picture. He's doing phone call down, which I know wasn't meant to. When he hit the home run and did the phone call, it wasn't anything to do with Craig Counsell. Of course, it had
certainly
nothing to do with it.
when Abner turned towards the dugout, did it in their face, and then returned back to his teammates.
Nothing to do with the Cubs. I don't know why you would think that. What could possibly lead you to believe that hanging up the phone had anything to do with the Cubs and Craig Counsell?
Very quickly, let's go around the horn. How's everybody feeling about Game 1 tonight? Still, the pitching has not been announced. Last check. So we're still kind of keeping it close to the vest. Who's going to be trotted out there? I feel good. I feel home field advantage. Brewers fans are going to come out. They're going to make that a hostile environment for the Dodgers. I feel good about Game 1. You, Gabe?
Got to get to Blake Snell early. Again, it's just about getting off to that quick start. Don't let him get settled in. Brewers didn't get to face him because he was injured for most of the season for the Dodgers. Got to get to Snell early with those right-handed bats.
I feel great. I feel good. I feel wonderful.
Brewers. 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 Willie and Josh is next on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
894 northbound. We do have an accident at Beloit Road. It is off on the